What it do? What's good with y'all boys? YouTube, it is your boy Stash Reacts, and I'm back with another banger video. In today's video, we have Courtship of Rivals Part 2 featuring Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. We did react to Part 1 already. If y'all haven't went to go check that out, please go check that out under my NBA reaction playlist. We got to see like the backstory behind everything and how it got built up into everything. So now we're about to get into the second segment of this. Probably just gonna do it into 3 parts, so y'all just let me know. Also, leave more recommendations down below in the comment section if you have more Larry Bird videos or Magic Johnson videos you want to see me react to, or even basketball in general, because y'all really do love my basketball reactions. But let's go ahead and dive straight to the video, man. Okay, we stopped at the 30-minute mark, so we're gonna stop at an hour.
Trees and lemon trees in people's front yards.
Okay, I think we basically stopped on the part where they basically said people were driving by and seeing Larry Bird cut his grass or whatever, which I know had to been like just crazy to see him out there doing that.
I said, stop, I gotta go pick an orange. Are you crazy? I said, no, I gotta do this. And so I ran up like a scared little kid, grabbed the orange and ran back to the lemon. I'd never seen an orange tree. I'd never seen a lemon tree. I was fascinated.
When 20-year-old Irvin Johnson arrived in Los Angeles in the fall of 1979, he was a world away from Lansing, the only home he'd ever known. He was the #1 pick of the LA Lakers.
Wow.
A once dominant franchise stuck in mediocrity. In the stoic Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the Lakers had talent, was energy. Irvin Magic Johnson was only too happy to provide it.
Lit the place up, changed the franchise, changed the temperament. I changed it from the very first game.
Wow. Oh my God, that skyhook is amazing, bro.
Here it was, the first game of a long season against the lowly Clippers. And Magic was embracing Kareem as if they'd just won their 10th straight championship. It was like, man, this is a different kind of dude.
Irvin Magic Johnson.
From the day he arrived, he became the prince of the city. He reminded me of a guy who wakes up without an alarm clock. And that's what I used to always say. I want to be happy enough to wake up without an alarm clock because I want to go into my world.
One thing I can notice is Magic Johnson is always smiling. He just seems like a very, very positive person. This is great energy to have on the court, because when you have players who are positive, some players, they do get down in the slumps, and having this energy around you will really just bring out a team. It'll really just, you know, make everybody better, including the coaching as well. Like, as you can tell, like, I haven't seen a picture of Magic Johnson not smiling in this whole documentary. But let's keep it going.
He had it, what it is. As far as I was concerned, the it was not his ability or his size. The it was his attitude, was his leadership, was his mind. I mean, I don't have to talk about Game 6 at Philadelphia.
Magic Johnson will shove.
In his rookie season, Magic had helped lead the Lakers to the NBA Finals against the Philadelphia 76ers. In Game 6, with an injured Abdul-Jabbar back home in LA, Magic played all 5 positions, scored 42 points, grabbed 15 rebounds, and dished out 7 assists,
at
leading the
6'6",
Lakers to the championship.
Amazing,
In just
man.
4 years, he had won titles in high school, college, and the pros.
Magic, what do you have that makes you perform like this in these championship games?
Well, I don't know. Just I love to win.
Across the masthead of the Los Angeles Times.
Now think of these circumstances. He's out here playing against some of the greatest 7-footers of all time, and he sacrificed himself for the championship because Kareem was out, and he was able to go out there and grab 15 rebounds and score 42 points. That's the most selfless thing you can ever do. A lot of that stuff you can't coach. That's just something that's instilled in a person. And one thing I can say about Magic Johnson is he definitely had that dog in him if he went out there and did that. Well, he did go out there and do that.
He was a star when he first arrived here, coming off the NC2A game. And quickly, during that first season, he became one of the stars in town. But that game put him on another level. That made him the star in town.
It's funny how I wanted to meet the celebrities, but they wanted to meet me. I was like shocked.
Always smiling, man.
Like, wow, you know who I am?
He was young, famous, and after Lakers owner Jerry Buss signed him to a 25-year, $25 million contract, very rich. The kid from Lansing was ready to sample a different kind of fruit. His playboy boss knew all the ripest trees.
I said, oh, I'm hanging with him. When they were coming into the box and he had 10, 20 of them, and look, Irvin, which one you want? And I was like, oh, okay, it's like that? And then he said, I'm going to take you to the Playboy Mansion. What?
Whoa.
The mansion? No, you can't.
Look at those dogs. Are those Kangles?
So I went there, and my first time, I'm backing up like, I can't believe I'm in, but I'm backing up away. You know, it's like, I'm scared to death. Probably 10 guys to 100 women, you know.
That's crazy.
Everybody think it's sex-driven, but it's really not. You have dinner, then you watch the latest movie. And then, of course, I don't want to ever say that sex wasn't involved, because if
He'd be
you meet
lying.
somebody, that's what, you know, you wanted to do. You did that. But it's really a great experience to go up there. So, yeah, I had fun there.
He
I
came
bet.
to LA like the Pied Piper. You know, people were giving him this and giving him that. But, you know, he stayed pretty grounded to the game.
Everybody was getting high then, but you can't even smoke a joint around Magic.
He had real old school, down in the trenches work ethic. And that was honed in him by his dad, Irvin Johnson Sr.
Magic was always this guy. You know, he never did none of that, so I did everything for him.
Respect.
Magic Johnson was living on a natural high. He was starring in the role of a lifetime, point guard of a Hollywood team with an offense called Showtime. He even had the alter ego perfect for the production.
I mean, Magic was his stage name. Even he would laugh about it.
Not the 7-Up sponsor. Okay.
Well, he always says there's two people. There's Irvin Johnson from East Lansing, and there's Magic Johnson from Hollywood.
Irvin Johnson is another guy. You know, here's Magic over here and here's Irvin over here.
Irvin is this fun-loving guy. Magic was so serious and dedicated to his game, and he was a crazy, crazy competitor and a crazy man.
Respect, Magic.
I think is the smiling kid from Lansing. I think Irvin died about 25 minutes after the NCAA championship game.
Irvin doesn't have the ego that Magic has. Magic got a crazy ego, and winning is everything.
And Irvin wanted to, along with Magic, conquer LA.
After having led the Lakers to 2 NBA titles in their first 4 years in town,
That's crazy.
Magic and Irvin were well on their way.
First 4 years, 2 NBA titles.
I think Magic wanted to be friends with Larry Bird. He wanted to be friends with him on the World Invitational Tournament, and Larry just wasn't very receptive. I think he wanted to be friends with him during the Final Four. Larry wouldn't even go over and shake his hand.
Like, just look at the difference. Look at the fierceness in Larry Bird's face versus Magic Johnson smiling. You can just tell Larry was the one who was more laid back and chill, kind of out the way. Didn't really want to be bothered. And Magic was one of those, one of those friends that try to keep your spirits up, try to pick at you just to make you smile and make you happy. But Larry looked like he probably wouldn't have bulged, bro. Like, he just looks crazy, bro. Like, that's that dog competitiveness in him, man.
So now Magic's saying, well, what's with this guy? Everybody loves me. How come you don't love me? And then they get to their rookie year, the first time they play each other. Well, they have a very hard foul.
Dang. Uh-oh.
And they have to be separated a little bit. And Magic's like, all right, well, the heck with this guy. You don't like me? Fine. All right, good. I don't like you either.
You know, he's a very competitive player, and I'm a very competitive player, and we go head to head, and we go for blood almost.
The vibe was nasty. It was ugly. It was, we didn't like each other.
I'm the one that did all that, to tell you the truth. It was... I just want to be hanging around him. I mean, that was my main competition.
And he couldn't escape the memory of losing to him in 1979.
Yes, facts.
It ate at him bad that he didn't win that national title against Magic. That was something, it just burned him.
It was one thing for them to be in the 79 championship. Magic had the better team. Everybody agreed with that. Magic had the better game. Fine. Now you get to the pros. Larry has this incredible year.
Ooh, look at Larry. Floater.
But
Oh,
there he
my
is,
gosh.
watching in a club while Magic Johnson wins a championship, and he's thinking, all right, I'm behind 2-0 now.
I watched that game, and I couldn't believe it. I always wanted to play at that level.
But what Bird couldn't possibly have known was that he had inspired Magic's performance when he was named Rookie of the Year earlier that same day.
Wow.
The PR person from the Lakers says, hey, Irvin, the Rookie of the Year voting has come out. And Magic says, okay, well, who won? He said, well, Larry Bird won. And Magic says, well, was it close? And he said, oh, no.
Hey.
He went out that day, yes, to try to win the NBA championship, but also to prove it to one Larry Bird. You know what?
He only had 3 votes.
Even though I won the championship, I still wanted to win the Rookie of the Year too.
He won that championship. I was pissed. I want him one.
But even after he had won one the next year, his obsession only grew deeper.
I'd get up in the mornings and see what he did because their games came on late. Then you look at the box score. I had to have him there for some reason. It's like a crutch, somebody I can compare myself to.
I hated what was being said that Larry was better than me, and I'm just a guy who can control the game. My first 4 or 5 years, that bothered me a lot. I didn't tell nobody it bothered me, but it did.
Use that as fuel.
Their competitive dislike emerged from a greater truth, that on the court, they were doppelgangers. Team-oriented stars who cared about winning above all.
Both two players, like you said, care about winning, want to get their teammates involved, made their team great just from their presence. This is just something that's very rare in a person. Like, this is just something that's you can't coach this. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, you cannot coach this. It's just amazing to watch. I just wish we still had this same type of basketball going on now, but the league has gotten soft, definitely, and a lot of people just aren't bought in as much as they were like back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But let's rewind it back about 5 seconds.
Team-oriented stars who cared about winning above all else. Basketball savants who fused the substance of the 60s with the style of the 70s. A new and exciting yet selfless way to play the game in the 1980s.
Yeah, I'm going to pass. But I'm going to pass in a way to make you look like a jackass.
What the?
They were so similar in the way they competed.
Wow.
I mean, they were 2 halves of the same brain.
No, look is
Same
crazy.
Craziness to excel.
I seen that first couple days I was with him.
Basketball IQ.
Oh
off
my
the chart.
goodness.
Seen the game a little different, most players.
Playing the game the right way was everything.
A lot of guys can just score. A lot of guys can just rebound. A lot of guys can just make plays. We can do it all.
Larry and Magic could control the game with 12 shots. It was amazing. They'd be 7 for 12. They'd have 20 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists.
Look at that, man.
I think I shot the ball 12 times and was the best player on the court by far.
But I think it was tough at first. I don't think either one of them wanted to recognize that they had any equal anywhere in what they did. But they sure as hell didn't want to recognize that their equal happened to be that other guy.
That's why we hated each other too, because we knew we were mirrors of each other.
I think for a while the two of them had to come to grips with that.
They had begun changing the game, but with continued low television ratings and tape-delayed finals, the league was struggling to get the word out. When the NBA and CBS signed a new TV deal before the 82-83 season, the rescue plan was simple. Sell more Bird and Magic, and sell them not just as ball players, but as arch-rival characters.
So I'm guessing this is the point where okay, NBA does the deal with CBS or whatever. This is the point to where y'all were saying in the comment section that Larry Bird and Magic Johnson basically saved the game of basketball because sales were going down. So they promoted them just to try to get things back going, and they actually did this. That is amazing.
In their own dramatic saga.
You got this slick Showtime African-American guy out west, and you got the lunch bucket, floppy-haired white guy with the bruises all over his body.
Damn.
It's central casting. It's perfect.
I mean, this was like made in heaven. In 1979, this idea of Magic and Bird was created, and so that was sort of a no-brainer. We'd have a doubleheader. It would be the Celtics playing first and the Lakers playing second, and that's the way we did it.
That's smart.
When the Celtics and Lakers both reached the finals just a year into the new TV deal in 1984, it appeared the superstar investment was about to pay off.
It was huge. It was probably the biggest moment the NBA had up to that point. You had Boston and LA, East against West. It had all the elements of a classic showdown.
Including what was becoming the most inescapable element of all.
Did we know that blacks and whites were lining up, the whites with the Celtics, the blacks with... Of course we knew that.
Even in the Celtics' own backyard.
They land at Logan Airport at the '84 finals. He's getting accosted by various people who are telling him Larry's going to take him down.
Damn.
This one older African-American gentleman comes up to me and goes, Magic, I want to wish you well. Good luck. I want you to crush the Celtics. And he said, oh, well, where are you from? He said, well, I'm from Boston. And he said, you're from Boston and you're rooting for the Lakers?
What?
I thought everybody here was crazy about the Celtics. And he looked right at me and he said, now why would I root for those white boys?
Dang. That's crazy.
Boston, after all, was a town still scarred by the ugly busing crisis of the mid-'70s.
What?
A violent period of urban unrest, during which white had been pitted against black. The resulting taint on the city nationally, coupled with a Boston roster littered with white players, affirmed to many black Americans that the Celtics were not the team for them.
Even today, people said, you played with the Celtics, and you know, I hated you at that time. You know, I wanted Magic to win. I didn't want that damn Larry Bird to win. We had all these black players, but they looked at us because we had Larry Bird leading us as a team that was white.
They were perfect archetypes for what was becoming the biggest story in sports. But for the real-life players, the narrative was much simpler.
It's finally going to happen.
Let's go.
Head-to-head again. It's just a matter of rolling that ball out there and let's get it on.
Welcome then to the Boston Garden and the start of the NBA World Championship Series. I'm Brent Musburger. In each of the last 4 NBA World Championship Series, either Magic or Bird has competed. But this is the first time that the two have gone head-to-head for the title.
Look at that arena, how packed it is, bro. They are going crazy.
Man, we jumped out on them that first game, and we won in Boston.
Ooh.
And with less than a minute to go in Game 2, the Lakers were closing in on a commanding series lead.
Oh, great defense. Way to recover. Don't tell me Larry Bird.
Things began to crumble.
Oh, Lord. Don't tell me Larry Bird hit the game-winning shot. Terrible shot. Great defense. Overtime.
Cheesy Johnson dribbling the timeout. What are you doing?
The Lakers regained their stride in Game 3.
He was winded, bro. Tired.
Rudely knocked off it again in Game 4.
Oh, that's bad, man. Oh! Larry Bird ready. He helped him up.
Got taken out.
Larry Bird was helping him up. I'm surprised Larry wasn't throwing hands, bro. That's what I've seen Larry do recently. He wasn't scared to throw them hands.
To be rudely knocked off it again in Game 4.
Oh, that's dirty, man. That's dirty.
Now let's watch it. Cooper and the Celtics, and now the bench is empty.
He helped him up and everything.
Ramish got taken out.
That's dirty, man.
He started fighting instead of playing.
Oh, let's go, Larry. Larry G.
And it made us realize we were not mentally tougher than the Celtics.
Magic's just not himself.
To be sure they won't let the time in Game 2.
Magic scared now.
Harris steals the ball and the Celtics call a timeout.
There were a number of places where, you know, Irvin didn't do what people expected him to do.
Tied at 123.
Don't tell me he missed it. Oh, he's the jitters. The jitters, man. Dang.
Johnson misses them both. Celtics want a timeout. Bonded.
That's tough.
Johnson goes to the bench. Bird, turnaround.
Ooh, straight net, man.
Game 5 went to the Celtics. Game 6 to the Lakers. It was like 1979 all over again. Down to 1 game for Bird and Magic.
If everybody had to look at it, probably would have said this is going to be a 7-game series.
No, I thought we'd sweep them in 4, but it's a little bit longer. Now we just have to do it in 7.
I love the confidence of Larry Bird, man.
That's the only time I ever felt that. There ain't no way they're walking out here with a win.
Magic Johnson.
No way.
Lakers have several chances, and here's Larry Bird shucking down the
He made that, bro. No way. What is that, Magic? Yeah, I would have been sick too, bro. Oh, we're about to lose. Let's go, Larry. Larry G. Damn, they storming the court, bro. I would have been out of there. Oh, he's sick.
I pride myself in being the guy who's going to win it for us and deliver under pressure. And
he didn't.
It didn't happen.
Okay, man.
I hope he was hurting. Hope it killed him. He made some bad plays down the stretch, and nobody in there was happier than me. And not only winning the game makes you feel good, but just knowing the other guy's suffering, and you know he was.
I remember after the game that both he and I.
Larry Bird literally seems like the type of person that'll kick you while you're down. Like, he just has no emotion. He does not care. As long as he wins and you're suffering, that is crazy for him to say that he was hoping that he was suffering and felt the pain. But you got to think about it. Magic did beat him for the national championship in college. So I would feel the same exact way too. That competitiveness, man, we don't have that same type of competitiveness now. It's just, I wish I could have been allowed to just watch it. But, you know, I'm just having to look back on the memories now. I just want to be able to watch it live and just see how those times were, because it won't get like that anymore at all.
We're in the showers crying.
Dang, man.
For about 35, 40 minutes. It was hard because not only had we lost to the Boston Celtics, he had lost to his nemesis, Larry Bird.
They celebrate, man.
I think he just made me dislike him more, you know, because he was that good. And I think you be jealous. You jealous a little bit.
Larry, does this get you even with Magic for what happened between Michigan State and Indiana State all those many years ago?
Yeah, we're professionals now, but I won this one for Terre Haute.
Well, it was a big deal, and I remember asking Quinn Buckner about it afterwards. They had a celebration in downtown Boston after they won the championship, and, you know, it was unusual for Larry to have these little outbursts, as Quinn would call them. But, you know, about 11:30 at night, finally he turned to Quinn, he goes, I got him. I finally got him. And he was talking about Magic.
Congratulations, Larry. You definitely deserve it.
The league was rejoicing too. Game 7 of the '84 series was one of CBS's highest-rated telecasts of the year, and the highest-rated game the NBA had ever produced.
Man, look at the
All of a
crowd.
sudden, whether it was at CBS or Madison Avenue, the sports writers around the country became phenomena. What is happening here? The absolute foundation in this resurgence was the Celtics and the Lakers, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
But Magic was in no mood to bask in the accomplishment.
I took a media beating. Tragic Magic. This is why we say Larry Bird is better.
Mentally, this is just, a lot of people can't handle this, because him and Larry were basically like headline of the newspapers, headlines of the NBA and everything. So basically, Magic Johnson just felt like he let his team down. But you got millions of people who are just coming at you, and you see your name come across, you know, all these headlines and everything. And Tragic Johnson, that's so disrespectful. But I mean, props to Magic for being able to even make it that far and being able to handle all that publicity, stuff like that. But I know any average person wouldn't be able to handle that. So you still got to be able to salute him, even though, you know, during that time he didn't win the championship.
It's probably the first time ever in my life I was depressed. And I didn't want people to see me. It was something I never dealt with in my life.
That particular series, that championship series, redefined his whole career because he never stopped working after that.
Magic was on a mission to prove to himself and the world that with the ball in his hands, he was still the one in control. And after his Lakers ran through the '85 season, he quickly got what he wanted.
Yes.
Another shot at Bird and the Celtics.
Uh-oh.
They won the East, we won the West. So it's like everybody just get ready, sit back, and let's enjoy it.
Wow, man.
But that smile belied the intensity of the clash that awaited.
If I had a glass of water and any of those guys had been on fire, I would have drank the water and watched them.
Oh my goodness.
They called us, you know, chokers and sissies. You know, we didn't like that, and they thought less of us. I knew they did.
Dang.
In '85, we played them 4 times in exhibition season for some reason. I don't know why they scheduled that. By the 4th game, there was an all-out brawl.
They call this one of the
Ooh.
greatest rivalries in all of sport. The Celtics, the Lakers.
This is where it started at, man.
It is the most one-sided rivalry in all of sports. 8 times these two have met for the NBA championship, and 8 times the Celtics have won.
At guard in his 6th year from Michigan State, at number 32, Magic Johnson.
But in the '85 finals, Magic changed the script. Over 6 grueling games, he masterfully controlled the pace with all-around brilliance.
He has a triple-double again.
Behind their point guard, the Lakers finally knocked out the Celtics.
Ooh, what a pass,
winning
man.
The clinching game in the Boston Garden.
They had Kareem.
LA comes to Boston and wins the world title.
Oh, I bet that was bad, man. I couldn't imagine the fans.
For one Magic Johnson. It's a long year last year to wait for this moment right now.
Magic had evened the score with Bird on the NBA floor. But the significance of their rivalry and their relationship was still just taking hold.
You crazy. I said, you're crazy. I'm not shooting no commercial with Larry. So I said, okay, we're gonna shoot it in LA?
I would never went to LA to film it.
Well, where are we gonna shoot it?
If you want to shoot a commercial, come to my house.
Oh, man, I wouldn't have went.
I was like, oh no. One stoplight. And I thought Lansing was small. I think the plan was, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm trying to get up out of here. My plan was that.
Even after Converse had convinced Magic and Bird to film a sneaker ad together in the summer of '85, a question remained. How would the two hated rivals on the court get along off of it?
I don't know how he's gonna react. I don't know how I'm gonna react. We didn't even shake hands, so how are we gonna do a commercial together?
The ad was to be filmed at the home Bird had built for his mom. It featured a full-length
Wow,
basketball
that's nice,
court,
man.
the day's first location.
So they say, okay, you're playing one-on-one, and I'm looking at Larry, and he's looking at me like, is this real? Are we playing? Because, you know, this is Magic and Bird.
I could just hear Larry, starting in on, well, you bring it to the basket, and I'm going to send it 30 rows up.
So the guy was like, no, not like that. A fun game. We were both like, oh, okay. Like,
It's so competitive.
Relief coming over both of our faces.
That brief détente led to the next stage, dialogue.
We sat down next to each other. How was your summer? Oh, it's going good. How was yours? It's going great. He said, man, it's a nice spread you got.
And he's asked me, is this where you play? I said, yeah, I play here if it's not windy. If it's raining or windy, I go to the gym. But this is where I do all my work.
I see that tractor. You work on the tractor? He said, man, I work on this tractor every day. Larry Bird work on a tractor? He said, yeah.
It's just them two walking and talking, and every once in a while they'd stop and one of them would say something, and then they'd start laughing.
Then they said, okay, break, it's lunch break time.
Dang, on the four-wheeler?
He said, no, my mother has prepared lunch for us up at the house.
We went up to the house and we sat down there and we talked, and my mom, my brothers thought the world of him.
His mother was so nice, making sure I had enough to eat. I just saw my mother. It was crazy.
He charmed her. You can see it. But that's Magic. He makes everybody feel welcome and warm, and he's a con man.
And while Magic charmed Georgia Bird, it was someone else who intrigued her son.
He met Irvin at lunch.
Irvin is a good dude. I like Irvin a lot better than Magic.
I was just so happy to finally be Irvin with him, because Magic was like, I don't know if I want to get to know this guy. But Irvin got a chance to talk about family, how he grew up. We just became two relaxed guys, just talking.
That day was great. It was a great day. Beautiful day.
Still, for Bird, ever the competitor, that's all it was, just one day.
Magic thinks the next year, okay, well, now we're great friends. So, after the game, we're going to go out, we're going to have a beer. And Larry's like, no, You're right. I know you better. You're a good guy, but I still don't want anything to do with you.
Dang.
Lucky guy. If me and him got to be really good friends, go out on the court, he could still play the same game. I couldn't. I mean, that's just the way it is.
But when the ad hit the airwaves, for others, the perception changed.
I saw those limousines going through the cornfields, and I said, no. They didn't sell themselves out.
I heard Converse made a pair of Bird shoes for last year's MVP. Yep. But they made a pair of Magic shoes for this year's MVP.
Okay, Magic, show me what you got.
This is really a business thing.
The Bird shoe, the Magic shoe.
And maybe that's where the business thing started to get bigger and began to trump who they both really were.
Okay, guys, we're going to end it right here. I'm going to say I ended it at the 56-minute mark. So we got 2 more parts left. Loving what I saw in this, man. They were able to, you know, meet each other on a more personal level. Magic was able to beat Irvin, although he had just beat Larry in the championship. And although the year previous to that, Larry was able to win. The fact that they met 8 times and Larry had beat them all 8 of those times is crazy to me. But it's great to see them come together like that and them being able to revive, you know, the NBA. You just got to respect that. Like, if they weren't in the league during this time, like, it's no telling what would basketball be right now. So I just give my utmost respect to Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. I'm happy that I have been doing more research on them. It definitely makes me more appreciative of what's happened in the past. Just being able to dive into everything. And who would have known that, you know, one old school hip hop reaction would have led me down this rabbit hole, which I'm very thankful for that I'm, you know, led down this. But thank y'all so much for everything. If y'all new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Stacks Reacts is out. Peace.